Welcome to this Microsoft Excel Advanced Formulas Study Guide, part 1 of 4 from TestMole.com, where employers can test candidates and teams using pre-built or custom assessments. We also create free tests and guides like this. Please help us by liking this video. Subscribe for more study guides and free tests. And turn on notifications. Okay, let's begin. Which of the following formulas uses lookup to find a value in B2, B10 based on A1, and returns not found if no match exists? This lookup function is a powerful replacement for VLOOKUP and index/match. Its syntax is lookup, lookup value, lookup array, return array, if not found, match mode, search mode. Lookup value, the value you are searching for, e.g. A1. Lookup array, the range where the value is located, e.g. C2, C10. Return array, the range containing the result you want to extract, e.g. B2, B10. If not found, an optional argument that allows you to specify a custom message or value if no match is found, eliminating the need for wrapping the formula in if error. The options are A equals lookup A1, C2, C10, B2, B10, not found. B equals if error, lookup A1, C2, C10, B2, B10, not found. C equals lookup A1, B2, B10, C2, C10, not found. D equals lookup A1, C2, C10, B2, B10, 0, not found. The answer is A. Option A is correct because it correctly maps the lookup value, the search range, the return range, and the if not found parameter. Option B is redundant, as lookup handles errors natively. Option C swaps the return and lookup arrays, and option D provides an incorrect number of arguments. What is the primary benefit of using the let function in a complex formula? The let function allows you to assign names to calculation results within a formula. Its structure is let, name1, value 1, name2, value 2, calculation. Readability. Complex formulas become easier to understand by replacing repetitive logic with descriptive variable names. Performance. If a calculation is used multiple times, let computes it only once and reuses the result, which can significantly speed up large workbooks. Maintainability. Updating a formula is simpler when you only need to change a value in one defined variable rather than hunting through the entire string. Possible answers are A. It allows you to define variables, improving performance and readability. B. It protects the formula from being edited by other users. C. It automatically translates the formula into VBA code. D. It allows the formula to work in Excel 2010. The answer is A. Option A is correct because let is designed specifically to improve formula efficiency and clarity through variable assignment. The other options describe features unrelated to the function's purpose, such as security, automation, or legacy compatibility. Which formula correctly extracts unique values from A2, A100, and sorts them alphabetically? Dynamic array functions like unique and sort work together to process data ranges. Unique range extracts a list of distinct items from a range, removing duplicates. Sort array takes an array and sorts it in ascending order by default. When nested, the inner function, unique, executes first, providing the distinct list to the outer function, sort, which then organizes that list alphabetically. Choose between A equals unique, sort, A2, A100. B equals sort, unique, A2, A100. C equals filter, A2, A100, unique, A2, A100. D equals array, unique, sort, A2, A100. The answer is B. Option B is correct because the inner unique function must generate the list of meet your criteria. Filter would normally return a hashtag calc. Error. Providing value here, such as no results or 0, ensures your spreadsheet remains clean and functional even when no data matches the filter. Possible answers are A. To specify the result if no items match the criteria if underscore empty. B. To determine the sort order of the results. C. To limit the number of rows returned. D. To identify which column to filter by. The answer is A. Option A is correct because the third argument acts as a fallback value for empty results. Options B, C, and D are incorrect because filter does not handle sorting, row limits, or column identification through that specific argument. In equals text join, comma, true, A1, A5, what happens if cell A2 is blank? The text join function combines text from multiple ranges using a delimiter. Text join, delimiter, ignore empty, text1, text2. Delimiter, the characters used to separate items, e.g., a comma and space. Ignore empty, a boolean, true or false. If set to true, the function skips empty cells, preventing extra delimiters from appearing in the final string. Text1, text2, the ranges or strings to join. Choose between. A. It includes an extra comma and space for the blank cell. B. It ignores the blank cell and joins the remaining values seamlessly. C. It returns a hashtag value. Error. D. It stops the formula and only joins a1. The answer is B. Option B is correct because setting the second argument to true instructs the function to skip blank cells entirely. Option A would only happen if the argument were set to false, and the other options are incorrect interpretations of how the function handles data. To enable wildcard matching, e.g., searching for app asterisk in lookup, what must the match underscore mode, fifth argument, be set to? The lookup function is a powerful tool for searching data, and its match mode argument provides flexibility in how it interprets your search criteria. When you need to perform pattern matching, such as finding all items starting with app, you use wildcards like the asterisk or question mark. To enable this functionality, you must set the match mode to 2. Here is a quick reference for the match mode options. Value meaning. 0 exact match, default. -1 exact match or next smaller item. 1 exact match or next larger item. 2 wildcard character match. Possible answers are A 0, B 1, C 2, D -1. The answer is C. Setting the argument to 2 explicitly tells Excel to interpret wildcards within the search string. Other options like 0, 1, or -1 are reserved for exact or approximate numerical matches and will not recognize wildcard characters. What is the result of equals sequence 5, 1? The sequence function generates a list of sequential numbers in an array. It is highly useful for creating dynamic lists without manually typing numbers. The syntax is equals sequence, rows, columns, start, step. In the expression equals sequence 5, 1, 5 specifies the number of rows. 1 specifies the number of columns. Because you defined 5 rows and only 1 column, the function fills the cells vertically, resulting in a column containing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The options are A. A horizontal row of numbers 1 to 5. B. A vertical column of numbers 1 to 5. C. 5 cells all containing the number 1. D. The number 5. The answer is B. The first argument defines the vertical dimension, rows, and the second defines the horizontal dimension, columns. Setting rows to 5 and columns to 1 forces the output into a vertical orientation. The indirect function is used to. The indirect function is a powerful way to create dynamic references. user to be able to switch between different sheets or ranges by simply changing a text input. Possible answers are A. Hide formulas from other users. B. Return a reference specified by a text string. C. Link to a different Excel file on a web server. D. Calculate the interest on a loan. The answer is B. Indirect acts as a translator, turning a text string into a live reference. It does not perform calculations, link to web servers, or provide security features like hiding formulas. Some product can be used for conditional summing. What does A1, A10 equals yes do within the formula? The SUMPRODUCT function multiplies corresponding components in arrays and returns the sum of those products. When performing conditional logic, we often use comparison operators like A1, A10 equals yes, which return an array of true and false values. Because Excel cannot perform mathematical operations on logical values directly, we use the double unary operator. This trick forces true to become 1 and false to become 0. Once converted to numbers, these values can be multiplied by other arrays to effectively filter or count specific criteria within a single formula. Let's review the options. A. It deletes the rows containing yes. B. It converts the true/false results into ones and zeros so they can be multiplied. C. It highlights the cells in red. D. It finds the average of the yes values. The answer is B. The double negative is a mathematical coercion technique that transforms logical true/false results into numerical ones and zeros, enabling them to be used in arithmetic operations. In the formula equals VLOOKUP, A1, BC, 2, false, what does false signify? The VLOOKUP function is a staple for looking up data in a table. Its fourth argument, range lookup, is a logical value that determines how strictly Excel searches for your value. False or zero forces an exact match. If the value is not found, the formula returns an #n/a error. True or 1 allows an approximate match. If an exact match is not found, it returns the largest value that is less than the lookup value. This requires the lookup column to be sorted in ascending order. Let's review the options. A. The data is sorted in descending order. B. Excel should find an exact match only. C. The formula should ignore errors. D. The data is not located in the current sheet. The answer is B. Using false ensures the lookup is precise. The other options are incorrect because false does not affect sorting, error handling, or the physical location of the data. The offset function returns a reference to a range that is a specific number of rows and columns from a starting cell. Is it a volatile function? In Excel, a volatile function is one that recalculates every time any change is made to the lookup, regardless of whether the function's own inputs have changed. While useful for dynamic references, excessive use of volatile functions like offset, indirect, today, and rand can significantly slow down large workbooks because they force Excel to reevaluate the entire calculation chain repeatedly. Here are the options. A. Yes, it recalculates every time any change is made to the sheet. B. No, it only recalculates when its specific inputs change. The answer is A. Because offset is inherently volatile, it triggers a recalculation whenever any cell in the sheet is modified. Non-volatile functions only recalculate when their specific precedent cells change. What would equals choose to red, blue, green return? The choose function selects a value from a list based on a specified index number. The syntax is equals choose index num value 1 value 2. Index num, the position of the value you want to return. Value 1 value 2, the list of options up to 254 values. If the index number is 1, it returns the first value. If it is 2, it returns the second, and so green. D, hashtag value. The answer is B. Since the index number is 2, the function selects the second item in the provided list, which is blue. The other options are ignored because they occupy different index positions. What is a major advantage of index match over VLOOKUP? The index match combination is a powerful alternative to VLOOKUP. While VLOOKUP requires the lookup value to be in the first column of the selected range, index match decouples the lookup logic from the return logic. Match finds the relative position of a value in a range. Index returns the value at a specific row and column intersection. By using these together, you can look up values in any direction, including columns to the left of your search key. Choose between A. It can look to the left, return a value from a column to the left of the lookup column. B. It is easier to type. C. It only works with numbers. D. It automatically sorts the data. The answer is A. The primary limitation of VLOOKUP is its inability to look to the left of the lookup column. Index match overcomes this because it treats the lookup array and the return array as independent ranges. What does equals E a month today 0 return? The EOMONTH end of month function returns the serial number of the last day of the month that occurs a specified number of months before or after a start date. Syntax equals E a month start date months. Months equals 0 returns the last day of the current month. Months 0 returns the last day of a future month. Months 0 returns the last day of a past month. Here are the options. A. The first day of the current month. B. The last day of the current month. C. The last day of the previous month. D. The same date next month. The answer is B. Using 0 as the second argument tells Excel to look at the current month and return its final day. Other options represent different offsets or incorrect logic. Which of the following are valid logical functions in Excel? Select all that apply. Logical functions in Excel allow you to perform conditional tests and return Boolean values, true or false. And returns true if all arguments are true. Or returns true if at least one argument is true. XOR returns true if an odd number of arguments are true, exclusive or not, reverses the logical value of its argument. These functions are essential for building complex if statements and data validation rules. Choose between A and B or C, XOR D, but the answer is A, B, and C. And, or, and XOR are standard Excel logical functions, but is not a valid Excel function. In modern Excel 365, does the transpose function require you to select the target range and press Ctrl plus Shift plus Enter? Unlike legacy array formulas that required selecting a range and pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus Enter, CSE, modern functions automatically spill their results into adjacent cells. If the source data changes, the spilled array updates instantly without needing manual reentry. The options are A. Yes, it is a legacy array formula. B. No, it is a dynamic array function that spills automatically. The answer is B. The function is dynamic, meaning it automatically spills results into the worksheet, removing the need for legacy array entry methods. The PMT function is used to calculate. The PMT function is a core financial tool in Excel used to determine loan repayments. It assumes a fixed interest rate and a consistent payment schedule over the life of the loan. Syntax equals PMT, rate, and PR, PV, FV type. Rate, interest rate per period. And per, total number of payments. PV, present value, the loan amount. based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. C. The total number of months in a year. D. The probability of a transaction failing. The answer is B. PMT calculates the fixed periodic payment required to amortize a loan. Other options describe unrelated concepts like profit margins, time units, or statistical risk. What is the difference between IS error and ISER? Excel provides several functions to check for errors. Understanding the distinction between IS error and ISER is crucial for data cleaning. IS error returns true for any error value, #n/a, #value, #ref, #div/0, #num, #name, or #null. ISER returns true for any error except #n/a. Using ISER is particularly useful when you want to ignore missing data, often represented by #n/a in lookups, while still catching genuine calculation errors. Let's review the options. A. IS error catches all errors. ISER catches all errors except #n/a. B. ISER is faster than IS error. C. IS error only works for text. ISER only works for numbers. D. There is no difference. The answer is A. IS error is the catch-all for every error type, whereas ISER specifically excludes the #n/a error, which is often used to indicate missing data rather than a broken formula. To calculate working days excluding weekends and a custom list of bank holidays, which argument in network days is used for holidays? The NTWRKDYS function calculates the number of whole working days between a start date and an end date. By default, it excludes weekends. To account for custom holidays, you provide a range of cells containing those dates as the third argument. Syntax equals network days, start date, end date, holidays. First, start date. Second, end date. Third, optional range of holiday dates. Possible answers are A. First, B. Second, C. Third, D. Fourth. The answer is C. The third argument is specifically reserved for a range of holiday dates that should be excluded from the working day count. Why use aggregate instead of sum or average? The aggregate function is a powerful alternative to standard functions like sum, average, or max. Its primary advantage is the ability to ignore specific data points, such as hidden rows, nested subtotal functions, or error values, which would otherwise break standard calculations. Key features. Function number. Choose the operation, e.g., 1 for average, 9 for sum. Options. Choose what to ignore, e.g., 2 to ignore hidden rows, 6 to ignore error values. The options are A. It can ignore hidden rows and error values while performing calculations. B. It makes the font size larger. C. It only works with data from the internet. D. It can sum text strings together. The answer is A. Aggregate provides a flexible way to perform calculations while filtering out unwanted data like errors or hidden rows, which standard functions cannot do. The switch function evaluates one value against a list of values and returns the first matching result. It is a more readable alternative too. The switch function evaluates a single expression against a list of values and returns the result corresponding to the first matching value. It is designed to simplify logic that would otherwise require multiple nested if statements, which can become difficult to read and maintain as the number of conditions grows. Equals switch, expression, value 1, result 1, defaulter value 2, result 2. By replacing nested ifs, you reduce the risk of syntax errors, like missing parentheses, and make your formulas much easier for others to audit. The options are A. Nested if statements, B. VLOOKUP, C. SIMIFs, D. Pivot tables. The answer is A. the search and find functions. Both search and find are used to locate the position of a text string within another string, but they differ in how they handle case sensitivity and special characters. Find, strictly case sensitive. It does not support wildcards. Search, case insensitive. It supports wildcards like the asterisk and question mark. Use find when you need to distinguish between uppercase and lowercase letters, e.g., finding a versus a. Use search for general text matching where case does not matter. Possible answers are A. Search is case sensitive. Find is not. B. Find is case sensitive. Search is not and supports wildcards. C. Search only works for numbers. Find only works for text. D. Find is a newer function than search. The answer is B. Find is case sensitive and literal, while search is case insensitive and flexible enough to handle wildcards. The other options incorrectly describe their functionality or suggest false limitations regarding data types. To filter a range A2, B10 where column A is red and column B is greater than 50, how do you write the criteria? When using the filter function, you can apply multiple criteria by multiplying them together. In Boolean logic, true is treated as 1 and false as 0. Multiplying two conditions acts as an AND operation because the result is only one true if both conditions are 1. Equals filter, range, condition 1, condition 2. This approach avoids the in function, which does not work across arrays in the way filter expects, as and returns a single result rather than an array of results. The options are A. A2, A10 equals red plus B2, B10 50. B. A2, A10 equals red asterisk B2, B10 50. C and A2, A10 equals red B2, B10 50. D. A2, A10 equals red and B2, B10 50. The answer is B. Multiplying Boolean arrays performs an AND operation because 11 equals 1. The AND function fails here because it evaluates the entire array as a single input, and the other options use incorrect operators for array logic. To filter a range A2, B10 where column A is red or column A is blue, how do you write the criteria? To perform an OR operation within a filter function, you add the criteria together. Since true equals 1 and false equals 0, adding the conditions ensures that if either condition is met, or both, the result is at least 1, which filter interprets as true. Equals filter, range, condition 1 plus condition 2. This is the standard way to handle multiple OR conditions in dynamic array formulas without needing complex nested logic. Let's review the options. A. A2, A10 equals red plus A2, A10 equals blue. B. A2, A10 equals red asterisk A2, A10 equals blue. C or A2, A10 equals red A2, A10 equals blue. D. A2, A10 equals red A2, A10 equals blue. The answer is A. Adding Boolean arrays performs an OR operation because any result greater than 0 is treated as true. The OR function is unsuitable for array filtering, and the other operators are mathematically incorrect for this purpose. Randarray 5.2 will generate. The randarray function is a dynamic array function that generates a grid of random decimal numbers between 0 and 1. It allows you to specify the dimensions of the output array directly. Equals randarray, rows, column, min, max, whole number. By providing 5 as the first argument and 2 as the second, you instruct Excel to fill a range that is 5 rows high and 2 columns wide. Let's review the options. A. A single random number between 5 and 2. B. A grid of random numbers across 5 rows and 2 columns. 5 random numbers in column 2? The answer is B. The function arguments explicitly define the dimensions of the array, rows, then columns. The other options misinterpret the function's purpose or its arguments. Thanks for watching. With TestMole.com, you get everything in one place, from easy candidate invites and role-based access, to deep analytics and built-in anti-cheat mechanics. We'll assess code answers, free text responses, and issue verified certificates. Ready to simplify your hiring? Give TestMole a try. And one more thing. If you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe.